into Bitcoin Twitter, you might not have seen. I've seen this kind of like the outskirts, but I've seen quite a few U.S. politicians say, "I'm running for U.S. Senate, and I believe in Bitcoin." And I've even seen another account kind of reply back to them, say, "You created this account about a week ago, and you created this account about a week ago just to tweet about Bitcoin and gain a following." And so a lot of these politicians in the United States are gaining a lot of traction on Twitter after tweeting about Bitcoin and saying how all their policies are going to, drastically improve Bitcoin or help Bitcoin, yada, yada, yada. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. Then I'll give my little rant, I guess, on it.
Fucking LARPers. Look, most of them are parroting a narrative because they think that's going to get them votes. That's it. Like, they've learned 3 or 4 talking points. Think about the audience they're speaking to, right? They're speaking to the mainstream person that understands nothing, holds the politician up on a pedestal. They think politician is some super smart person that knows exactly what they're talking about, everything, and like they're just taking what they say at face value. I mean, in a way, it's like, is it better that they are at least pretending to support Bitcoin, or at least like, they're pandering to Bitcoiners for the vote? Is that better than if they didn't, or if they hated Bitcoin? Quite possibly. But it's not going to lead anywhere. It's not going to lead to truth, right? It's not going to lead anywhere that I think we want to go. All it's going to do is it's going to make us vote for people based on a single issue, probably blinding us to the negative aspects of those politicians, and then they're going to come into power, and then they're just going to really do what they always do. The system is too strong for any one person or even any group of politicians to change it. You can see that in the fact that, like, we switch, like, well, in the US and a whole bunch of other democracies, they switch between 2 opposing parties, and they both do the same thing. They print money, and they're just basically, politics is about winning votes. And how do you win votes? You give people free shit. It's marketing 101 as well, right? If you give people free shit, you give them free trials, you do giveaways, that attracts people. People want free stuff. And it's the same with the general population. It's the same with, like, when you grow the state so big that it's one of the largest employers of people in the country, you can't reduce the size of the state, because that's just extremely unpopular. You're not going to win the vote by saying, "Hey, civil servants, I'm going to fire half of you. Like, half of you are going to be unemployed. We'll cut the deficit, though. We'll have less debt. That doesn't affect you today. Like, you don't care about the debt today. It doesn't make any difference. You care about having a fucking job." So the state is just politics in the state. The incentives are so fucked, and I just don't really trust any of them. I think they have good intentions, but intentions mean fuck all if you can't execute on what needs to be done. So that politicians aren't a way for the individual to take power back into their own hands. Like, voting for a specific politician is not going to give the power back to the individual. What you have to do as an individual is take power back. And the way you take control or power back is you vote with your feet. You live where you're treated best, because you're incentivizing that treatment by rewarding it with your presence and your economic activity in a given physical location. And then you need to buy Bitcoin, buy and hold your wealth in Bitcoin so that nobody can control it. And those are the two probably most powerful things that you can do if you want to instigate like a systemic change. That's how you do it. It isn't voting for Erica Rhodes or XYZ politician or whatever. Maybe you can do that too, and it has a little bit of a difference, because we'd rather maybe have Erica. Erica's better than Brad Sherman or whoever she's trying to replace, right? But yeah, she's also she's playing in the same game, right? You can't change the rule. If you want to play, like, if you're playing American, you're not going to go on an American football field and win an American football game by playing volleyball rules, because that's just not how it works. You have to play American football rules, and American football rules have certain restrictions, certain things you can't do. You want to like throw the ball up in the air and like volley it. You can't do that in American football, but maybe that's what needs to happen in the world. And so you need to play a whole different game. You can't, if you enter the game of politics, you're constrained by the incentive structure of the system of politics, and you'll end up doing what everyone else is doing. Like if you come in and you think like every politician has done it wrong, they're all idiots. Guess what happens? Everyone just does the same thing because it's about the game. It's about the system. You're a pawn of the system as a politician. You're not making or controlling the system. It is controlling you.